Hey, kindergarten parents, this is your child's classroom. I just want to take a few minutes and give you guys a little tour. Here are their desks. I know you guys haven't been able to come in to see exactly where your kiddo sits, but I want to at least give you a window into their day. This is our toy bin, our math shelf and STEM shelf, my temporary desk. And then our reading and eventually will be our writing board, but this is our library. It's a very small classroom library. This is where we do calendar. I always have a calendar helper. We rotate our jobs every week. So whatever job your child has, they will have that job for an entire week. There is a 6 feet plus of space. This is from the point where I stand or sit as I teach them. Our word wall is over there, Fruits of the Spirit. So there's space between me and them at all times. Unfortunately, this year we have rows, our own desks, instead of working in groups. So that makes me really sad, but I'm also really blessed that we're in school every day, full time, so your kiddo can be learning. This video is not going to be long because you already have a ton of the information. I've already sent the handbook digitally to you guys. You also got it, the manual this week, the paper copy. But just a couple of things I wanted to go over. You have the handbook that details everything for kindergarten. In there, the hard copy that I sent you, there's an extra page that talks about sight word cards, Bible memory verse work, and then also when I'm not feeling good. So I just want to touch on those 3 things really quick. Everything else should be pretty self-explanatory. I do have one change to make that I will get to at the end. But the first thing is these are their sight word cards. So we do use Fry's First 100. The top word is the main card, sight word of the card, and they do go in order of the way that we learn them. They are also spiraled, so you have some new words that they haven't learned yet, but then they're there for them to practice, and some simple sentences. So the plan with these is they practice these in school. Also, these do not leave their backpack. They will be in a Ziploc bag. They will come home with them this Monday. They are to practice them at home as well. These are work at your own pace. I will tell you though, that these cards, as they are able to read all the sight words and the simple sentences, they bring them to us at school. Read to me, Mrs. Ryer, Mrs. Kennedy, and if they are able to read the whole card, they get a 3 on the card. At the end of the quarter, what I do is I tally up their 3s and they get virtual coins. And instead of doing a bead jar party for behavior, what I do is I let them shop the store with their virtual coins based on their own merit and work. So that is their sight word cards. The next thing I wanted to talk about is their Bible memory verse. So they will get this every Monday, a slip. It'll explain Bible memory work, what the expectation is. They have to know their Bible verse by Friday. And then on the next page, it'll say what the verse says. So their first one is this week, is Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We will work on it in school, and then hopefully you guys are working on it together at home. The whole point is so that you guys are also getting into God's word together, and they're sharing with you what they're learning. The next thing is if I'm not feeling well. So being in COVID, I am much more heightened in my awareness of how my kiddos are feeling. As a mom, I'm already watching and looking during flu season and stuff to see how the kids are doing. If your child is starting to show symptoms that are atypical for what I have already seen in the classroom, I will be sending them home. So even if in the past it has been if they had a fever, they would go home. If they didn't, they came back to class. But that will not be the case anymore just because of COVID. And we don't want anybody going home or not going home and then ending up sick. And then we don't want to have friends worried about whether they've caught it or if they do get sick, was it COVID, was it not? So we're just sending everyone home. And that's all already been explained in the SOAR plan. But I just wanted to reiterate that to you. And then the other thing is, you got one of these flip charts. In the flip chart, it just kind of goes over the same sort of information that was in the handbook, but it's a quick access. It also has our classroom mission, kind of what the behavior expectations are. There's some information on each of me, all your teachers, the 2 aides. The star of the week is spelled out. That is where the change is. So it says on Friday from 11 to 11:40 that we will do their special time. However, that was not correct. It's supposed to be 1 to 1:45. So that's the time that we will share the treat. That does not have to be an edible treat. All the information on those details for Star of the Week is in the handbook. The other thing that you guys got this week was just some tips and information on what we're learning in kindergarten, as well as ways that you can help your child become a reader. Some basic number recognition work from 1 to 10, and just reasons why we read with our kids the way we do. Having them hear us read, and them modeling and sharing what they're experiencing when we're reading together is all part of creating a reader who loves to spend time with words. And God gave us words in order to not only learn to read them, to read His word, but then to also express ourselves. And so the idea is that they eventually start to realize that letters come together to make a word, that then words come together to make a sentence, and all of a sudden that sentence has feeling. So the way that they express themselves to you and you express yourself to them all comes together when you start looking at stories together and they start to apply and relate to written words. So hopefully those things were helpful. If you have time, there was a short list of also some websites to get your kid on to practice some reading skills, literacy skills. Feel free to get on any of those. If you have trouble or if you have any questions on it, let me know. I also typically sign all the kids up for EPIC, which is like an online digital library for kids who like to read on a tablet. I can go ahead and do that for you too. But that's about it. We usually do this in person, so it's kind of weird to do it over a camera, and I'm about as real as it gets, so this isn't fluff. There's no fireworks going to come from this, so you get what you get with me. And then also the one thing I just want to express to you is it is a really different year. The way that these kids are being expected to learn is very different. Kindergarten does not learn by sitting in rows. You saw the classroom. Sitting in a row at their own desk, managing their own supplies is not normal for a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. So I want to encourage you guys to show a lot of grace for your kiddo. And a lot of grace for me. 20 of them is a lot, and it's taking a lot longer to accomplish the same skills we normally would have done much quicker in a normal setting. So grace is extended to you guys as well, as I know that there is a lot on your plate as well. So when things are expected to be returned or done, I know that many of you have numerous kids at home too. It's not just a single kiddo in your family. So I will extend that same level of grace to you guys, especially if your kid is out sick. We will continue to work together. So I want to also touch on that real quick. When your kid is sick and cannot be in school, do not fret. So my plan is, and this is how I've always handled it, is I will be the one responsible to get your child caught up. I don't want you to worry about it. If we know that your child is going to be out for an extended period of time, then I will communicate with you. We will create a packet, and then we will create typical Zoom times throughout the day, once a day, twice a day, whatever your specific child needs, depending on where they're at in their achievement level, so that way they stay caught up. I do not want kids working when they are sick. That doesn't serve anyone very well. And so if your child is only out for a day or two, it's a short stay at home, then don't worry about it. When they do come back to school is when I will get them caught up. I will not send packets home for just a couple of days. I know you guys probably have a ton of questions, and I am sure there are probably things I didn't touch on that you're going to probably want to ask me about. That is great. I sent you an email with the Zoom link. That starts at 7:30. I will be on. You can pop on. I will have to let you into the Zoom room meeting. but you can pop on and off as you need. And the general session does start at 7 o'clock, and Mrs. Peterson should be sending that out to you. I hope probably tonight or tomorrow. I'm a parent too, so I should be seeing it as well. But come with any questions. I will do my best to answer them. And overall, I just am really excited about the year with these kids. We're all going to be growing together. We're all in a whole new arena together, and we're going to do it. God's with us. He's in control, and I just pray that you guys find peace in knowing that as well. You're all loved. Goodbye.